Okay, so we will start by slicing off the ends off our grapefruits. Be sure they're washed. Take one cut around the side like that. You'll see we have one cut off of one side. And then just basically peel this. Off. You'll end up with a little bit of white left on it. You want to get off as much as you can. Just use a knife and scrape all this off so you can get off of these. Go through and separate these out. So you'll end up with individual slices. Loading jars. Be sure to get as much as you can off them. Be sure to get the seeds out. Any extra white you can off of them. Most seeds are just pretty easy to come right out of these. These are a pink grapefruit. Try and prepare all these as many as you can ahead of time for about as many jars as you think you'll be able to do on the amount of grapefruit that you have. You want to load the jar as full as you can get them, and try not to overpack them, but pack them tight enough that it works. So you usually get about between 1 1/4 and 1 1/2 grapefruits per jar for what you're doing. I usually try and settle them in there quite well out of the jar. You'll see I have the jar pretty well situated. I can fit about 1 1/2 pretty safe in one of these jars. So at that point, what you're going to do when you have it pretty close to full, I think you have it situated, you'll take and you'll load water in this. Okay, so at this point you'll put a funnel on, fill this with sugar and water. I use 4 cups of water to 1 cup of sugar for a mild amount of liquid. So we have it pretty well full. Go through with our tool, and we'll make sure that we remove all the air bubbles off the sides. You want to keep your liquid right at the bottom of this ring, and not any fuller than that. At this point in time, be sure to wipe the top off, any residue particles that you have. Alright, sorry. Mistake that. So make sure this is clean. With a damp cloth, usually with vinegar. Next, you'll want to put this lid, ring on. So where they're on good and snug, not super tight, but good and snug. At this point in time, you'll fill these. We'll put 7 of these or 8 of these, depending on the size of your canner, in hot water. 10 minutes. I've been doing them 12 just so they finish out, so they'll look pretty nice when they're all done, but you'll see that the jars are all sealed nice and pretty. And I'll bring you back when I've got it out of the canner. Okay, so after 10 minutes, 12 minutes in the canner, I usually take them out. This one we took out a little bit ago. This is what they look like when they're finished. Sealed. Rings on top are all after they cool off. Rings are good. Wipe them down and you're good to go. 1 pint jar of processed pink grapefruit slices.